Don't forget to subscribe in our channel. Just hit the little bell and share all this information for our community. Thank you so much for being today with us here in this amazing space we have been creating for our community, Merkaba Stories. And today we are with this amazing, I don't even know how to name it, healer, practitioner, goddess. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. We are in Body and Brain in the city of Coral Gables. Let's expand a little bit more out of like our Miami traditional areas. This is another city, amazing city, Coral Gables. Here's with us today, Dariana Trana, right? Like her name, I was telling her, your name is so powerful. It looks like Wonder Woman days, like back in the days, like, well, the mom used to come from Trana. It looks like the goddess. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you
for receiving us in your beautiful space. I don't know where to start. We just had such an amazing class. I connected so much. It was beautiful. Was that a Tai Chi class that we did?
Tai Chi and Qigong.
Qigong.
Yes.
Okay, I've never heard about Qigong. I did practice Tai Chi back in the days in a theater. Like, it gives you a lot of stability, and you know the movements are very clean and cut, and it feels like you're not doing nothing, but at the end your body's really tension. How does this is involving your practice? Let's start somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. So I think Body and Brain, so we're kind of like a holistic kind of fitness lifestyle company. That's really what we kind of do. And we have so many different tools in order to create health, happiness, and peace. So that's really kind of what we aim to do. So we do have the yoga, we do have the Tai Chi, we have healing tools, we have energy massage, we have like so many different kind of tools and things that we provide. Especially though the Tai Chi is a practice that has become even more popular now. And I think to me too, I've grown into being able to just like really love, because it's a very grounding practice. So just as you say, it's a smooth and meditational martial arts. So ultimately that's what it is. But at the same time, yeah, your body is under tension, it's under pressure, you're feeling your muscles working, and your energy is flowing inside of your body. You're improving your circulation, you're improving your joint health, you're improving your flexibility, while at the same time, it's bringing you into like a meditative state. So that's what you were able to experience.
That was amazing. I was like floating when I got back. So let me ask you, how do you find about, because I believe you were in the science field, you were a chemist environment, and how's the story, so we can understand a little bit more how you found your mission in this life?
Sure, thank you. And that's a really I feel like a very deep kind of topic to me, like how I even found like kind of my way into what I wanted to do. I would have never guessed that this would be like my purpose or something that I would really be passionate about. But I found, because I was also really seeking, I really needed the help. So I had just graduated from college, a chemist degree. I had found my first job. It was the job that I wanted. Everything was like going, you know, how it was supposed to go. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Perfect, yeah. I love how you say that, because I'm a Virgo. So it's like, yeah, everything was planned exactly.
Oh my gosh, you're a Virgo. Yeah, everything has to be in the colors the same way. Like, I know, I'm Earth too, so we get along together.
That's
so,
right. Yeah.
I'm Taurus. Okay.
That's right. So yeah, but interestingly enough, at that time, when kind of like the dust was settling and everything was happening exactly how I wanted it, it was like this huge anxiety came out of me. And so much so that I started to suffer from panic attacks. Now, one thing is having anxiety, right? But another thing is like having these anxiety attacks that there's nothing that you can tell yourself, oh, it's okay, nothing's really happening, you know, or there's no way to control them really, unless you fully heal what is happening underneath, right? So, and then I just started seeking, because I knew that if I just went to the doctor, I would just be prescribed something to numb the feeling, and then things like that. And of course, actually, I think I was even doing a lot of things to numb like what was really going on inside of me. But I said, okay, you know what, I need to find out. I started reading, meditation, energy, and then that's actually where I first started to read about life purpose too. And so, oh, I never thought about life purpose. I always was like, well, what do I like? What's gonna make money? And then just making a plan to make it happen. But nobody ever asked me like, what is the purpose of your life, you know? And so that's kind of like how I just started seeking, and then I came here, and then everything that I kept experiencing, it was very deep, and I started to get results right away. So my panic attacks actually went away after just 1 month of practice. And I had been suffering for months already. Right. So I thought that was like magical.
Of course, of course.
It felt like a miracle. So then it's just like one thing after another. And then, as I was telling you before, you know, we have amazing workshops as well to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Because yes, you want to heal energetically. And yes, you want to kind of let your body become healthy, but you also want to go into a deeper awareness about yourself, about your habits. And those habits are the ones that create the illness or the instability inside of you, or whatever it is that you're trying to heal in the first place. So we have a workshop called Finding Your True Self. And yeah, we ask 2 questions. Who am I? And what do I really want? At the soul level. We may have a lot of desires, you know, and they're all valid, but there's something that the soul is here to do. And that's where I found it. It just came like an explosion inside of me, like, I need to create peace, not only for myself, but for my community, for all of humanity, if I can. So which is why I'm so thankful for the opportunity to share here today.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So you were born, I believe, in Nicaragua, right? Yes. Which is a very nice place. I don't know, but I heard the beaches are amazing. Very nice people from Nicaragua. Yeah. So you were born in Nicaragua, but raised here in Miami, right? So you did your whole life here, which is kind of, you know, like at your age, because you're young, I can tell. At your age, it's like it's so beautiful to finding your real path at such a young age, when you already had a career and you have your perfect life put together. It's so unbelievable, and it's a real mission to, at this age, try to bring this awareness to other people out there. And I believe what I'm trying to say is more younger people is like awakening very fast. Where I come from, like I'm probably 15 years older than you, people, like all the healers in the community that I know my age, they kind of like started the work like 6-7 years ago, which is not late, it's never late, but I feel now like younger generations are awakening like on a faster, you know. That's what I'm trying to say. So it is a beautiful mission. I believe Ilchi Lee is the founder of Body and Brain, correct? Have you had the pleasure to meet him? I believe so, right?
Yes, yes.
Quite a few special
times. Oh,
character.
So special, and his energy is even more special. You feel his energy even as he just walks into a room full of like hundreds and hundreds of people. You just feel him. Yeah, he's very, very special. So we actually get to have trainings with him every once in a while. Before the pandemic, of course, he would even have events here, most often in Sedona, Arizona. We have a beautiful retreat center there, and he, whenever he can, he would come and give talks and lectures and energy trainings that are very, very powerful. Now he's doing it online though. Yeah, online. And then he even has a YouTube channel, which if you just Google Ilchi Lee on YouTube, you can just receive like his knowledge. I was telling you about his books. He writes 1 book a year. I don't know how he has the time for that, but It's amazing. He just really like, he loves to educate people, and I think that's what we love too. Like, we always say like, I don't want you to depend on me. I want to give you the tools. So because you need to know that you can create your own health, happiness, and peace. So I think a lot of people, even now, I think as you say, they're changing, but I think a lot of people can really rely on like the medical field or even family or whatever it is to bring them that health or to bring them that happiness or to bring them that peace. But when it's really us, that we need to create it inside, and then we can share it out with everyone.
Of course. So, Dari, let me ask you. So, you started this just practicing here first. When you found this place, you just came as a client, and then you decided to go to retreats. I will say, where you were so kind of like awake, and you said, "Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to get my certification." How long does the certification takes for the school or the la ideología? You know, how long?
Everyone is different. Yeah. And it makes sense, you know, because we're all on a different kind of step in our path or our growth. So I was a master within 6 months. But, you know, I was like, as soon as I really found it, I mean, I was coming to class every day, even twice a day, because I dragged my mom. Like, I would come in the morning to class, and at night I would bring her because I'm like, you need this too. Right. So I really kind of went very, very deep. But then even some people, maybe like different age or different things like that, they just may take a little bit longer to get to a certain point of finding their center and then finding like that path and things like that.
And how do you know you're ready to just, how do you know you're ready to jump and start teaching people? Or because there's a lot. I mean, we did just a beautiful class with so many movements, and then you're telling me that there's other exercises to kind of activate your points on your so it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
When are you ready? I mean, who decides? Okay, 6 months or is it a year? Is it yourself? Is this Il Chile? Who decides?
Yeah, mostly it's you. I think mostly it's you. You know, like, honestly, like, I really didn't think that this would be like my path. I mean, I did exercise before and like all sorts of different things. Like, I would have never thought. But yeah, after I did the workshop, Finding Your True Self workshop, and then I went to Sedona, and then actually in a meditation on top of Bell Rock, it was like this thing came to me. It's like, it's kind of like now or never. And I just came back and I told my center master, and I was like, can I work here?
I'm ready.
And then he says, let me ask. And then the regional director, which is Master Oceana at that point, which is now the CEO of Body and Brain. By the way, there's 100 Body and Brain centers all over the US.
I heard.
Over 700 all over the world. I mean, it's a huge, huge organization with, I think, a lot of tools and resources, which I love. And she was like, yeah, why don't you come to our team? And I feel like, you know, at a certain point, of course, like, you're like somebody who's above you will know if you're ready or not too. But I don't think anyone that can say like, I am ready is not ready. Like, you yourself choose on your own.
Of course.
Yeah, if I didn't choose, then I wouldn't have been chosen.
Who will?
Yeah,
Exactly. Tell us about your experience in Sedona, because I want you to talk about it, just because I heard it's a very special place energetically. It's very attractive, and I can tell even by the pictures. I've never been there. I want to go, but tell us about the experience there. Why Sedona? What is so special about Sedona that you can tell us?
Yes. So actually, when we talk about like chakras or energy centers of the body, so it's a chakra literally means an energy field where the energy is accumulated, right? So the earth also has chakras, and then Sedona is one of those places where the energy is very high. The energy of magnetic and electric energy of the earth is very, very high and concentrated. So interesting enough, when I went to Sedona, I didn't know about Sedona at all before I went there. And then I started to read up on it. I was like, oh my God, this is a very special place. And then come to know too, the Native Americans that live around Sedona, like back in the day, they would live outside of Sedona, and then they would come to Sedona only for their very sacred ceremonies, and then they would go back to their homes. That's how sacred the energy of Sedona was, you know. And of course, they're very connected, so they know about these things, right? So that's kind of how it feels. Like Sedona is just a very, very high energy. So for any kind of spiritual ascension, spiritual healing that you would like to do, it is really the best place. And
yeah,
so,
of course. You connect on a very special way. There are some places in the planet that are definitely, and I believe Sedona, it's not like lately you see a lot of people traveling there, and I will say it's more because of this awareness and all this opening, you know, our consciousness, and not because it's the cool trip to go. It's just like because it's really a special place. So you have a location in Sedona where you have a retreat center. A retreat center.
It's called Sedona Mago Center in Sedona.
Mago?
Sedona Mago.
That's amazing, which means
mother.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Like that's Mother Earth. Yeah.
It's amazing. But it's not in the center. It's like outside of Sedona, or like.
It's in Sedona, but it is also kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's not like in like, you know, central place. Like you have to go down a gravel road for like 30 minutes, like in the middle of the mountains. So it's very kind of separate from like the busyness, because there's also like the touristy
the little
part.
Town, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then so it's like very kind of like you when you go there, you're just in the nature by, you know, yourself, and then we have like all sorts of amenities there too.
So you went to Sedona, and then you realized, okay, now I am ready to go back and make this happen. And how many days were you there with the retreat? Who guides the retreat there? Is it Mr. Lee or
no? Well, sometimes he does, do different trainings, but there's actually a lot of masters that have been training with him for like 20, 30 years. So they're like on another level. Yeah, so I've been training for about 5 years now. But I always say, you know, like those masters that have been training for like 20, 30 years, it's like just being in their presence, like you just know, like this person has really been so sincere, so disciplined, you know, with their own kind of growth, spiritual growth and awareness, that they just feel very different. It's like they're like light, like pure light.
I can imagine, in a beautiful place with so many connected people, with so much experience and so much spiritual path recorrido, right? Because it's a lot of years, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Once you come back from Sedona, then you're a practitioner here, or at the other locations that you have in Miami, or you're just based here in Coral Gables, that's it? This is where you work from?
So when I came back, I actually started working at the Pinecrest location. Yeah, so we have one location in Pinecrest by Dadeland Mall, and then another one on Bird Road and 128th. Yeah, and then, but that's something that's kind of like how I chose. Like I really wanted, because I found so much healing through just regular class teaching of yoga and Tai Chi and all of these, then that's what I wanted to do. But there's actually many more things. Like there's so many parts of our organization. We have a cafe like in downtown Sedona. We have another organization that's called International Brain Education Association, which works with the UN to bring these kind of practices to third world countries. In El Salvador, they've been able to make amazing things happen.
Oh, that's good.
So there's actually a lot of places that you can go, and then we're actually gonna have, like in May, we're planning to have like a lifestyle expo of all of the different jobs that are in the organization, to kind of like showcase, because it's really nice. Like you can do like a lot of things. But so when I chose, like I saw, I want to work at the center and I want to teach at the center, because I felt like that's where I found my healing.
What do I expect on my first? Is there an evaluation as a single person? How does it work?
Yes. So yeah, actually, because our practice is so unique and there's so many different avenues to heal, to create that happiness and peace inside of you, the first thing that we do is we would guide you into a private introductory session. Okay. So, and then there we can check a little bit more your physical condition. Actually, because your body is connected to your brain, then just by checking your flexibility, just by checking your balance, by checking your breathing, we can already tell so much about your stress levels, about how you manage your emotions, about your mind. How is it? You have a busy mind? Do you have like this kind of habits, those kind of habits, things like that. And then from there, since everybody's a little bit different, then we personalize your program. So we say, okay, these are the best classes for you.
Oh,
or this is the best workshop for you. Or some people may even just benefit only from private session, like more like healing, right? So if you're
one-to-one.
Yeah, especially if your health condition just requires a little bit more attention, then maybe more one-to-one is better. So then we'll give you, we love to give homework. So we give you some like 1 or 2 exercises, do these every day for a month, come back, and then you'll see the difference. One thing that's really cool, a lot of our exercises are so simple, but so deep. And if you do them regularly, even within a month, you can see a huge difference.
Yeah.
Really, whatever you want to.
Yeah, the problem I believe with when we start all of these, type of like practices, if we don't do the work, it's not gonna happen. I mean, like you cannot say, oh, I tried body and brain with Dariana, but it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. You're not doing your job. You're not doing your homework, right?
That's right.
So it's, you have to put a lot of effort there and really want to make the change. Now, when we were performing your class, believe kind of like Tai Chi combined there, it was so beautiful because it connected me with my back in the days I was doing dramatic arts, and it was really a passion that I did have. I was feeling so connected with my higher self, whatever you want to call it. And doing this class today remind me of those exercises back in the past that I really love. It was like this little ball, like kind of like, I didn't even, it came back to one regression. I had like a little regression to my younger years. But you told me, and Paula actually, with the brain behind the cameras here, you said to us, oh, you have to kind of like come back to our class because I don't see flexibility. I will say we were trying to pass this through our toes, and I couldn't even like hold myself there. I'm like, okay, I cannot get here. So what's going on? Like, what would you suggest me? Like a 3-hour stretching class every day? What would you diagnose to Giselle? Like looking at me or Paula, the way that we came today.
Yes, so definitely for most people, 2 or 3 times per week is good for coming to class. Tai Chi is definitely kind of full body workout, will help you improve flexibility of the joints, but there's also the energy yoga class, which is called yoga, but we don't follow the kind of flow, kind of upward dog, downward dog, although those are amazing exercises. But what we aim to do is, I'll show you with this little guy. So these are, if you can see, kind of energy lines that go through the body. And we call these kind of like train tracks, right? So un ferrocarril, right? You could just train tracks. This is how energy flows. So kind of how blood flows through the vessels, through your veins, right? Energy flows through these called meridian channels.
Correct.
Okay. So before we even talk about the chakras, we first have to talk about this. Yeah. All of these need to flow. So in Eastern medicine, by the way, this practice is from Korea. So in Eastern medicine, they say if all of your energy is flowing well in your body, naturally you have physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health. But let's say you have tension here, that blocks not only this point, but whatever it's connected to. And then that over a long period of time becomes disease, becomes illness, becomes an emotional kind of disorder inside, becomes all of these things. So That's the first basic of health. We want to be able to open up your body, make it flexible, and have good circulation. So our energy yoga class specifically, we do a lot of just simple stretches, basic stretches to open up all of these energy channels. But because they've been blocked and you've been tense for a long time, it also takes time. So we usually recommend even about a year practice. Yeah. About 1 year, yeah. And then that's when you can really feel your body is really changing fully and your lifestyle is changing. Within a few months, you'll be able to sleep better, you'll be able to have better digestion, you'll be having better moods, definitely. But the lifestyle changes take time, yeah. So that would be like the first step. And then, as you can see in these train tracks, there's like little tiny dots. Those are acupressure points, which acupuncturists also use this. So most likely if you've gone to an acupuncturist, you've seen a doll like this before. So this is where old energy releases and then new energy comes in. Just like a train station, people leave, people come in. So also we work on acupressure points throughout the body. So our classes, yes, they're movement, but even sometimes we're just focusing on some specific acupressure points that will help you heal. So for example, if you have a stomach issue, if you have gastritis, if you feel bloating, you can actually, from the kneecap, you can find the point outside and then press here. And then that's why we have these handy dandy tools. And we literally just massage. So a lot of our classes, puede ser, yeah, it could be tapping too. Puede ser tapping. So a lot of our classes are just kind of like that to help you open. Yeah. So along with the stretching, along with the breathing, along with all of these parts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So that would be like an evaluation of what you think that I need, and you will suggest, okay, so this is what you need to do. You're going to come 3 times a week, and I would recommend you to do this class. So I'm curious about the flexibility, because I've been like when I was little, like gymnastics, and then I did a lot of dance, and I'm supposed to be an active person, but I've never really felt like I have flexibility in my body, which is, a little not frustrating, but I cannot really do what some other gymnastics used to do, even though I was good. Like I could not like put my head down in the knees like they could. So I always thought, okay, I have no flexibility, which is, I don't know if it's good, it's wrong, but is there any exercise that I can do to make it better, for example?
Yes, absolutely. This is what we call belly button healing.
Okay.
Yeah, belly button healing. It's kind of a funny name, but
okay. Can you give us an example? Like, for example, how does it work? Do you see instant changes, or you have to wait a year?
That's right. No. So that's the key. This one, it's so simple. Just a couple of minutes of literally stimulating your gut, which, by the way, has about 50% of your blood volume of your whole body is right here.
So it's really important.
Super important to have good digestion and good circulation here. So a lot of times too, I have like people saying, well, like I eat really healthy, I eat really well, but somehow I still, don't feel like I go to the bathroom efficiently or something like that. That means that somehow this area is stuck and stagnant. And I know you mentioned before, we were talking about how emotions also accumulate in the belly, in the organs. So that has to do something with it too. Yeah. So, but interestingly enough, as soon as you start stimulating and massaging this area, then that energy can travel to the rest of your body. The blood will literally flow to the legs, to the arms, to the shoulders, and then you will see flexibility improve right away. It only takes a couple of minutes, so we can even try now.
Oh, let's do it. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. My belly is always, I'm going to confess, my belly is always really bloated, and I've always associated with something emotional that happened to me when I was like 6 or 7 years old. If my parents were getting divorced, and automatically I started having all these issues with my digestive system, right? So kind of like did a little bit of like a little struggle there, como and I kept it along the years, and obviously sometimes when I'm really stressed,
It affects.
se detona, and it's really bloated. Like I feel like something really is going on. And normally
right.
I'm bloated. Normally in my life, I'm always bloated.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than others. So I would like to you to teach me something
Yes,
that
it will be
that
my
would
pleasure.
help me.
Which, by the way, I also had similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think all of us healers, like, we're very sensitive people. So, like, anything just kind of like,
Yes.
can hurt us or make us feel like that. So, yeah, so that was one surprising thing that I found when I came here, how much, like, I actually had issues in my gut, but I was so disconnected from my body, so disconnected from myself, that I didn't even know. So I started healing as I came. So the first step then, it would be to kind of check our flexibility, like you check your own body.
Which I have
and
zero.
So actually, everybody that says has bad flexibility, I'm always like, okay, it's not that bad. So
Well, your
let's check.
face was like, you need more class. You need like 3 times a week here. You too. Okay.
So first, just kind of check and see how far you can go. See, not bad. She can touch her feet.
It's just because I'm petite. That's all. You see, you're able to put all your hands here. In order for me to do that, I can't. I just have to bend my knees.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to force, yeah. So eventually you do want to. I mean, would be the best thing, but this is not too bad.
Okay.
So, but this is good.
Is there some people that cannot even hold
Yes,
it?
yes. So if you're watching this and you're here, there's hope, okay? You can do it.
Okay. Good.
So that's one. Okay, awesome. And then the next one is the shoulders, because the shoulders is one that we hold a lot of tension. So let's try. So let's go ahead and bring our hands up and back, and then try to put your arms behind your ears. That's the best thing. Yep. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just feel. So where do you feel the most tension when you do this?
My lower back to the left.
Lower back to the left. Okay. How are the shoulders and the neck?
No, it's fine.
That part
it's
is
just
okay.
that part where I feel the tension more.
Okay. Good. Wonderful. And then, so that's how far back you can go. Can you bring it back more? Oh, very nice. Yeah, she's flexible actually.
Well, but here, not in my legs. It could be, right? Like
yes.
Yeah, of course.
Good. So now we use our handy dandy tool. This is called Healing Life wand, by the way. Healing Life, because literally it can heal your life. But if you're at home, you can actually use anything that has a round tip, like your hairbrush, a remote control, I don't know, anything. And then you place it either in your belly button, or if your belly button is too sensitive, 1 inch below, 1 inch below the belly button.
Ay, me duele.
Oh.
It hurts.
Gentle, like a pumping movement. Now, by the way, what does pain mean? It means it's lack of circulation. Yeah. So you just want to breathe out. Good. And then, let's close our eyes and just focus there. Gentle pumping. Breathe out. Very good. And then most people, they find that their pain starts to alleviate as the more you go. Very good. Keep breathing out through your mouth, and you can smile.
Oh, but you're going really strong. I can't.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't hurt. Yeah. So I can do it more deeply. Good. Oh, you're doing pretty good. Good. Let's do 30 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Now just hold it there and then just breathe. Let's do belly breathing. Into the abdomen and out. Very good. And can you feel more heat?
Yeah, but like more with like here.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever heat actually was
Yeah.
here is actually releasing.
Yeah, a lot of heat. More, I would say more in this part of my body, my face, my brain.
And how is your mind now?
More quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. Your face looks brighter, like clearer.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt it too, like more relaxed.
More relaxed.
Like,
yes, that's right.
and
Amazing.
actually,
You're able to go deeper.
yeah, I'm able to go with a little bit more of stronger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt as much as when I started.
That's right.
Yeah.
So already whatever was blocked, whatever was tense inside, just started to move.
So if I try now, like,
Yeah,
I would
let's
be
try.
more flexible? Really?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
reading
try.
your mind.
Let's try. Let's try. Even myself, I feel more flexible. How do you feel?
Yeah. I can actually hold myself a little bit more.
That's
like
right.
remember I started here?
And can you just feel overall more comfortable in
Yeah,
this
well,
posture?
I'm able to hold more
Yeah.
my, like going a little bit farther. Yes.
Yeah, even me too. So even this, now I can feel like I can go further.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then let's check the shoulders too. So check the shoulders back. And then most likely here, how is your lower back?
I'm still feeling to the left, but not too deep down. Like, I was feeling it more, a little bit more painful to the left.
Okay.
So yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you see the difference. Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can imagine after a month of practice,
That's right.
how, it will improve like day by day.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's right. And so this is something like a quick test that you can do, and then most likely you can feel even, by the way, we usually recommend this one at least 10 minutes a day. Could be like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And then we usually do 5 minutes before the class all the time.
Oh, okay. So that's how you start your class.
That's how you start, yeah, because we need to get our blood pumping even before we start stretching. And actually that even prevents injury too. Because if you're cold, right, then it's like that can happen. So even 5 minutes of pumping can help you improve your flexibility, but longer term, this has huge kind of benefits. So for example, any of my members that come with constipation issues, literally within a week, regular, of just utilizing this.
I'm gonna definitely try it. It could be with anything pointy like this, right? Because I'm having a lot of issues with that long time ago, and then you don't pay attention, as how she says, and then emotionally some other stuff can appear after holding so much stress in those areas, like diverticulitis and all of this, right? Because it comes from there, not listening to your body, not paying attention to your body. It's a wonderful practice. Once more, as I always say, we go back to our ancestors. This comes from a very old school, comes from Asia, which means, I mean, están more evolucionados, 100 of years than us, and bringing this knowledge to all the Occidental side is such a beautiful, beautiful mission. Do you think your soul comes connected somehow from this culture? Have you ever believe in past lives regression?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a really thing there, like connecting with such an antique culture. Some people kind of connect with like pyramids, Egyptians, but I see you very much like this culture kind of like in you. You're always smiling, which brings my attention. And I see a lot of people from Del Oriental, like they're always smiling. They're like always doing this. Is this something that you learn, or something that comes with you from?
Oh, it was not me before, for sure.
Oh, no?
It was not me before. Yeah. Actually, this is something that we even in class, we're always smile, because there's a science behind smiling, by the way. Like, you can literally trick your brain. When you literally smile, you can actually create happy hormones
It's a
inside.
Powerful healing, smiling and laughing too.
And laughing too, that's right. We do laughing exercises sometimes too.
Oh my God.
Like, all right, let's just start laughing. Ha!
Yeah, it releases a lot of tension.
That's right. So, well, to answer your original question, I think like I don't think so. Like, honestly, like I've never really been connected to like Eastern culture until it did something for me.
Okay.
So because it changed literally my body, my energy, my emotions, the way I manage myself, and then I kind of saw the value. But one thing that I will say is like, since I was young, like I always felt like kind of like that old soul kind of thing, you know? Like I remember in Nicaragua just like laying down on my bed, and then like we were on like the second floor, so I was just like looking out to the stars and just like asking myself like, what is this? Like, what is this earth thing? Like, and who am I? Like, what am I? Like, what are we doing here kind of thing? And I was always very curious to like learn a lot about different cultures, and I always felt very connected to people. But I think most of us ask ourselves that question at one point in our lives, like just looking up at the stars maybe, or wherever, like sometimes you just kind of like stop and you realize, wait a minute, what am I actually doing here? But then we have a rat race, and then we just go back onto like our day-to-day, and then we just forget about it. I feel very kind of lucky to have found the place, and then even Ilchi Lee, that he created kind of a structure. Like everything is structured, like really in her practice, like even the Finding True Self workshop. This has been 20 years, it's been the same workshop, and everybody finds something so beautiful and deep inside.
Of course.
Their true soul purpose inside. So I feel very lucky to have like stumbled across like somebody who already went through the tough part, and then was able to create kind of like a space for us to find ourselves. And then very lucky too to have found it, you know, at my age. And then, but you know, honestly, like at any point in your life, it's like we have center masters that are in their 60s and 70s, and they're running a center, and you know, and they're living almost like their second wind of life, and they're finding their purpose. And so it's really a beautiful.
I heard he came to a mountain for 21 days without eating, without like
Sleeping.
Total state of meditation, and that's where he found his real purpose, correct?
That's right, yeah. And he did, by the way, it took 21 days. He didn't know it was gonna take 21 days.
Oh, so he was planning to go for less.
Well, he was just planning to be there
in silence.
How long it will take. However long it will take to find the answer to who am I and what do I want. And he said that it was really, really tough. Not eating, not sleeping, not laying down. And he kept trying to do his training, meditation, connecting, and like the answers weren't coming. He says he almost died like 7 times.
Of course. No eating, no drinking, nothing. No sleeping?
No sleeping. He says that was the toughest part. Like he used to tie himself to trees. Like there was a waterfall on the mountain. Like he would be like at the cliff of the mountain, because he's like, for sure, if I'm sitting here, I'm not gonna go to sleep. So, but he fell like 2 times, you know, like it was like,
wow.
He says, I don't know how I didn't die, but somehow I was saved. And then, and then it just so happened that at the 21 day, it was just felt like a huge explosion in his brain. And then he said, okay, for sure I died. Like, this is it. It's gone. But he just stayed there for a little bit, and he's like, wait a minute, I still have my body. Okay, so I'm still here. And when he opened his eyes, it was just like visions and all this universal knowledge just coming in, flooding in, flooding in. So, which interestingly enough, he actually stayed there for another 23 days while eating again,
Okay.
to try to make sense of it all. So he wanted to really meditate on how he was going to share his enlightenment. One thing is to reach that level of enlightenment and then just stay on the mountain and like a monk, and live solitary. And then of course you can stay enlightened,
Of course.
But he says that's not going to help humanity. I could stay here forever meditating, but that's not going to help anyone. So, which actually it does on a certain extent, but he says, how can I really bring this out? He says, well, I can't recommend what I just did to everybody.
Right.
Like, that's not going to work.
Right.
And then he also kind of felt like humanity, this is 40 years ago. So he said, even at that point, maybe like consciousness was not ready to receive so much about like soul and life purpose. Like they weren't really, really ready. So he says, the first thing, anyway, like from his like kind of visions and things like that, he says the first thing that we need to acquire is health. If we don't have our health, then it's very hard to kind of look for purpose. Kind of like our parents, or our generation, or like older generations, they were just focused on surviving. That was the foundation.
Survival brain.
Yeah, they could not find, like even think about purpose. There's no way. Which that's why I feel really grateful, because that gave us, like the newer generation, like, oh, wait a minute, there's more to life. What else am I here to do, right? But that's how he started then, just teaching health, principles of health. And then that's actually kind of how we go here too. It's like, first, let's make you healthy. Let's get your body healthy. Then you can start awakening your spirituality, and you have a very strong foundation to begin with. Yeah. So after the 23 days, he came down from the mountain, he went to the park and he started teaching at the park. And he taught at the park for 5 years before he even opened his first center in Korea. And and he just gained a huge following even in those 5 years, because he was able to heal a lot of people. Not him healing, but really showing them how they can heal themselves.
Downloading information.
That's
unbelievable. Right. When is our next trip to Sedona? I'm dying to go. I'm dying to. It's calling me somehow.
Actually, June 24th through 27th is the next Sedona meditation tour. We used to have these like 4 or 5 times a year, and there's gonna be a Sedona meditation weekend. It's just like maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, very short trip, but very deep, with the spiritual master that I had mentioned. Her name is Ilchi Buko. She's Japanese, actually. We come from all over. And she will be guiding that training.
She was trained by him, obviously.
Yes. She's been training for a long, long time. She's another one that you just look at her, she's like the sun. She's so bright.
Of course, I can imagine the knowledge that these people brings to humanity. Well, I mean, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for that beautiful class. Thank you for existing, for bringing this, expanding this to the universe, to our community. It's a great job. I'm definitely interested in the awakening. What is it called? Awakening, finding your purpose, self. Like your true self. That means your path, your purpose in life, right? That's unbelievable. It's never late, guys. It's never late. Let's just connect with this information. This is the purpose for this amazing space we created here. Thank you so much for being with us today. And keep going in your path of life.